Hello everyone, this is Connor and George's presentation called Just Out of Hearing, where we will be talking about short-range ultrasonic communication systems. Okay, the basic block diagram of an ultrasonic communication system is shown at the bottom of this slide. Using the principles in this block diagram, the ultrasonic communication system is able to produce reliable and safe communications using sound waves, microphones, and speakers. So the way this block diagram works is very similar to how the amplitude modulation works. So a digital signal from a computer is passed through a modem and then through an amplitude modulator onto a 30 kilohertz carrier signal. This modulated data signal then is passed through an amplifier and through an ultrasonic transducer. When the signal passes through the ultrasonic transducer, the signal is converted from an electrical signal to a sound wave. And the ultrasonic transducer replaces an antenna in other communication systems. On the receiving side of the ultrasonic communication system, a second transducer, acting like an antenna, picks up the sound waves and converts them back into an electrical signal. This signal is then passed through a VLF converter, which increases the frequency to create a shorter wavelength signal and to block unwanted frequencies. Then the signal is passed through a communications receiver where it's demodulated and then sent to a computer to be read. The digital data appearing on the computer should be the same data sent with little to no errors.
The interesting part about ultrasonic communications is that it's an old technology, but very new to data communication. In the future, it's primed to replace technologies such as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, or near-field communications, NFC. These types of communications are perfect for ultrasonic because of the distance and the type of data needed to transfer. Since ultrasonic communication uses the existing hardware as the interface for data communication, there's no need to establish connections or authenticate devices. It's really beneficial when you just want to transmit something over the speaker and have the receiving device pick it up with their microphone. No need to have all the pins that Bluetooth has or the passwords of Wi-Fi. However, this means it is a much less secure way of transmitting data. The table shown here compares 4 different types of communication systems with their frequency and data speed. Ultrasound has the lowest frequency for transmitting data and the slowest transfer rate. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth have significantly higher frequencies and significantly higher data speeds. Even though ultrasound has very slow data speeds, depending upon the environment, this could be a beneficial way to transmit data. This is a short list of the trade-offs using ultrasound as a communication data transfer system. A few benefits are that it's great at short range, similar to Bluetooth. However, it also has a simple interface and simple device requirement. As mentioned earlier, it only uses the existing speakers and microphone that most technologies have today. Another benefit of ultrasound communication is that it is not absorbed by water. In addition, ultrasound is bound by physical barriers, so if you project the audio in a closed room, it doesn't leave the room. This means that it is very secure in a closed environment from physical outside attackers. Instead of Wi-Fi, you can sit outside and log on to the network. You would have to be in the room with the ultrasound communication in order to interact with it. Despite the benefits of ultrasound communication, there are a few downfalls. This includes the range of transmit signal. Since it's so great at short range, it is terrible at long range. As I just mentioned, it's great in confined spaces, but it doesn't really go through physical barriers. Data also transfers at extremely slow speeds, as shown before, which is not great for large amounts of data transfer, but it's great for detecting where an object is or sending simple commands to the device. Due to the simple device requirement for ultrasound communications, the downfall is that it mostly relies on software implementation to transmit the data. This means while you only need a speaker and a microphone, you need to rely on the software to encode and decode the information.
Another use this communication system has is phone tracking, and it's pretty easy to do since this system uses microphones and speakers as the antennas. It's pretty accessible to anyone that wants to build this. So, for example, stores can use their overhead speakers to transmit to your phone. The signal will be picked up by your phone microphone, and the store has access to your location by your phone, and they're able to see which aisles you shop down, which aisles you don't shop down, and they could better target you for their ad campaigns. So a second kind of scary use of this communication system is with like internet ads. So if you open Facebook or Instagram and an ad pops up on your phone or your computer, the ad, you might see it visually, but you might not hear what's going on. So the ad could be sending out ultrasonic signals through your computer phone speakers, and then that's picked up by your computer and phone microphone. And then depending on what is being sent through this signal, the signal sender could be gaining personal information from your computer or phone, which is not good. Alright, so one cool use of ultrasonic communication systems is through fish tracking. And the way this works is kind of like underwater GPS for fish, basically. So the fish are implanted with an ultrasonic transmitter, which sends a ping out, and this ping is then detected by like 3 different buoys that triangulate the signal. Each buoy has their own receiver, and then depending on what time the signal comes into the buoy, the fish location is able to be triangulated and calculated. Ultrasonic tags are used on fish instead of radio waves because, as mentioned before, the ultrasonic waves are not stopped by water, so this allows the range for the fish to be detected to be upwards of 1 kilometer rather than a couple feet from radio waves.
This slide shows some of the major sources that we used. A lot of them are scholarly articles. Since this technology is so new to the data communication field, a lot of this is ongoing research by universities. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.